In today's value-packed video, we got something special. Three millionaire traders come together with one mission: helping you learn, helping you trade with confidence, and giving you the exact education behind all of our trades. Sit back, relax, get your notepad out, and let's learn and level up together. Three millionaire traders with one mission to help you learn. How are we doing today, boys?
Doing
Amazing.
good.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. It was an incredible day, between the movements up, the movements down, you Grizzly catching that first initial massive movement to the upside, and then Brandon catching the move right back down. There's a lot to discuss today and a lot of education that's going to go into this video. Now, before we get started, I wanted to say too and teach. On my watch list this morning, as you can see here, my only reject area was 521. Now, I believe this is the exact trade that Brandon ended up taking in real time, so he'll go over that. I wanted to go over how I found this level and how it ended up being the tippy top of the day at 521, you can see here, and then a straight move down. Now, I find all my levels on the hourly chart. So we go here. I notice, and let's first start off by saying that whenever I'm looking for levels, I always mark out any key levels to start, right? I want to have these all marked out prior, so that I can go into the day knowing exactly what I want to look at. Now, as far as this 21 area, okay, I had this. I also had this. This is what my chart looked like before we started this video. All right, cleared it so I could show you guys. Now, when we look at this, we notice that we've been in a downtrend. We pop back up a little. This 521 had this impulse candle through here, as we see here, a bounce here, and a breakthrough. So with what we're seeing here, we know that there's a high probability that our support will turn to our resistance here. There's a high probability that if we take this trade, we'll see at least some sort of selling, which will give us an opportunity to make some money to the downside. Now, that's how I look at all my trades. I always look at my trades from a probability standpoint. I don't look at it from, can I make money? I don't look at this from, do I like this level? I look at it from, hey, is there a high probability that I will have an edge to make money on this trade? This was beautiful. I'm sure it helped a lot of people inside Team Bull. And it's another example of how when you know how to find levels the right way and you get the confidence in that, you become a much better trader. So with that being said, I'm going to hand this over to Grizzly. He's going to show you how he caught this entire move up, almost the entire move, from right here to around right here. So I'm going to hand this to you, Grizzly. Let's get this party started.
Let's do this. So to start off, it all goes back to our Instagram Live of the morning, right? Where we come up with our game plan. I always like to say that because having the game plan is really important. You can't be a lazy trader, right? You got to wake up, be ready before the market opens. But so the main area I told everyone I was watching, I said I want to see us reclaim that 5,200 on SPX for calls. Lines up with that 518.2 area on SPY. Reason for this level was that 5,200 was resistance. Very clear level. We had a daily, weekly, 4-hour, huge trend line in this area. So what I want to see was reclaim this, not only for a day trade, but also for the call leaps that I entered, but mainly for a day trade today. So what I look for when I'm entering a trade, right, especially if we're going above like a resistance, I want to see the bids get above that level before I enter. So we couldn't really enter right away, even though you can see here we was above it on this candle. The bids were still below at this point, right? A lot of people would see this, get in, and it could very easily be a false breakout. We could fail it, you get stopped out quickly. So we was patient. We waited on the bid to get above this level. We entered here. It did chop around a little bit, but my stop loss was very tight. A 5-minute close below that 5,200, we'd have been out. Everyone in Team Bull trading this with me knew the exact game plan. I took SPX calls and ES futures longs here. And finally, after this consolidation, we had a nice push up. Our first trend was once we broke above this this range here into strength, we trimmed. Next trim was way up here. Then we ended up selling a runner in this area as well. I was all out of ES a little before this, but we caught most of the move with options, which it worked out well. I'm very happy with how the members handled this trade. It was good on execution. Didn't see as much stress. Just played out perfectly. I won't say a perfect trade, but it was close to it. So
And I think it's worth saying that you had gotten a trim off and were in profit on this trade before data. We had some data come out, nothing crazy, but it was like ISM services around this area. But you were already in profit and got a trim off before that. So it's always a little
Yeah,
riskier trading on data, but this was a good trade. Regardless, it just got amplified,
yeah,
and it's pretty sweet.
yeah, yeah, it was. It was a good trade.
So that being said, you crushed the upside, sent the rocket ship up. Then Brando Commando comes in, as he always likes to do, and sends this puppy back down. So with that, hand it over to Brandon, and let's hear what gave him the confidence to take that trade and a massive swing trade on a stock I bet you won't be able to guess.
So yeah, as Jadon mentioned earlier, we were able to catch these puts earlier on SPY up here towards this 521, and we were able to catch this move all the way down. So I want to explain what I saw up at this level, and there's actually a decent amount of confluence that I want to run through. But as far as the reject, the only area I was watching today was that 521, just due to this daily gap that we had on SPY from 519 up to 521. So typically when we fill these gaps, we like to either make it support if it's a gap to the downside, or resistance if it's a gap to the upside. So Grizzly was able to crush those calls to the upside, but then as price started trading up towards that 521, like I said, that was my only reject level. Now, the reason why I wanted to take this trade is something that I love to use is Bookmap when price is trading towards my key levels, because this is going to show us if we actually have buyers or sellers sitting at that area. So as we traded up into that 521 area, something that I use a lot when price is trading at my key levels is Bookmap, because it's going to show us if we actually have buyers or sellers sitting at that area. So if I pull up the Discord messages that I sent out today, you can see at 11:12, I said testing SPY puts here. We have sell orders sitting at this gap fill. I'll stop out above, small loss of hit, and then here are the orders. So I sent the screenshot of all these sell orders sitting up here, which is represented by this this red and this orange. We have this very thick area, which is just representing sell orders. So I ended up entering at 11:12, which was this candle right here. So this was the first entry as we come up to that gap fill and we start to notice those sell orders sitting there. Now what you're going to see is at 11:27, I said adding a little more, same spot, stop remains the same. Heavy sell order sitting here, looking like they got rid of the buy order sitting below. If I'm wrong, but I like this setup. So again, going back to Bookmap, these buy orders, they started to get taken out of the market. So there was less buy orders than there were previously, which is why I ended up adding to my position, and even more sell orders started to come in, which gave me that confidence to one, add to my position, but also remain in the position. Now, from there, it took a lot of patience, because you can see we didn't actually start selling off until, what is this? 11:45. So we were in this trade. What did it start? 11:12, and then the ad at 11:27. We finally started to pull at 11:45. And then finally at 11:55, we were up 50% on the SPY puts. And that's personally when I fully exited as we came down into this buy zone on Bookmap, which is right around this area. So beautiful trade. It just took a lot of patience and having confidence in the trade.
Yep, it's beautiful what multiple confluences and multiple confirmations can do for you in a trade, and that's something that you've done really well. You teach really well on your YouTube, and you've helped a lot of traders learn too. Is not just taking a trade because of a level, or not just taking a trade because of one thing, but having multiple things that add up and give you that high percentage of wins and those bigger wins that you look for, and every trader does.
Yeah, and then one more thing I wanted to add was we were going up off a light volume on the 15-minute time frame into that level, which added to that confluence, as you can see here.
Yep. Now, speaking of confluence and banger trades, you took a solid trade, 40% plus with minimal to no drawdown. I believe it was yesterday or the day before. You're still in it right now on silver, SLV. Talk
Yes.
about that and how you find those names that we don't see so often.
So we ended up entering this swing on SLV on Thursday, which was this day right here. We went with the $25 calls expiring all the way out in 2026, because this is based off of a higher time frame level, but it's exploding. So we might actually end up taking trim soon. But the way that I'm finding these swing trade setups is I'm prioritizing higher time frames, weekly, monthly, and even the quarterly, which this trade was based off of. So what I'm looking for is for price to hold above a 21 EMA. As we can see on this white dotted line right here, that's my 21 EMA. And looking at silver, we've been watching this for a few months. It's just we had to stay super patient and wait for the right setup. But at the end of last quarter, which was last Thursday, we finally got that quarterly candle close above that 21 EMA, but I'm also looking for a squeeze, which is telling us that a big move is going to come. Now, also at the same time, we're trading inside of this huge quarterly symmetrical triangle. So because every one candle represents 3 months, that's why we had to go all the way out to 2026 to give this time to actually start making a move to the upside. But the whole reason behind the trade was we're just simply holding this 21 EMA. We have the squeeze, it's got bullish structure, and there was literally no drawdown the second that we entered this trade. It's just been going up ever since. So
No, the gap up and the gap and go, bro. It went crazy.
that's right. Look at that volume too. Crazy.
Awesome, man. Good volume. So yeah, and a beautiful day inside Team Bull, a lot of education. Let me know in the comments before we conclude this video. If you want us to do more of these, if you want to see more live trading recaps, more education, and more just daily insight on what's happening in the market, comment below, let Brandon know, let Grizzly know, let myself know. And as far as that goes, is there anything else that you guys have to say or that you want to say before we go?
No, thank you all. Covered it.
I'm all good.
Awesome. Well, you guys take care and trade smart, trade safe, everyone. See you in the next video.
You too, bro.
Nice.
Thanks.
Peace.